What's going on YouTube? It is All Things Mets Media, and this video is going to be about Matt Allan, the New York Mets prospect pitcher, and him undergoing another surgery and why this is bad for the New York Mets pitching future. We're going to get into it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this video. Okay, guys, let's get into the video. Definitely, guys, Matt Allan. We know the Mets prospects pitchers, and, they don't have a lot of prospect pitchers that are, up and coming and, great like the ones that they had with Zach Wheeler, Matt Harvey, those Syndergaard, those type of pitchers. They do not have that pitching, pool in their prospects. But, Matt Allan, definitely was a third-round draft pick of 2009 MLB draft. The 21-year-old, underwent a Tommy John surgery in May of 2021, and then had a nerve transposition surgery in January of 22. So Matt Allan, a guy that was supposed to be the next, not Jacob deGrom, but the next big pitcher for the New York Mets in their system, definitely has not pitched in a game since 2019. He was initially expected to begin the year in low A St. Lucie, but now he's likely out for the season and definitely could miss next year as well. And this is because Matt Allan has underwent another elbow surgery, USL revision surgery. It really sucks for the kid because the kid is so young, and Matt Allan was supposed to be the next, number 2 or number 1 starter for the New York Mets, definitely in their future. It really sucks that, Matt Allan has gone through so much of these surgeries. When when the Mets drafted him in 2019, this looked like one of the best drafts that the Mets have had. And, they got Matt Allan. I think they also got Brett Beatty there, So, listen, the Mets had, potential for a guy like Matt Allan. Matt Allan was supposed to be the next big guy, to be, the pitcher for the New York Mets in their system. But it just didn't happen, honestly. And it really sucks. It really sucks because, like I said, Matt Allan was young. He's young. And having another surgery, elbow surgery, this just doesn't look good for the kid. There are some people like Zach Wheeler and, Jacob deGrom who've had, Tommy John surgeries as well. But, guys, Matt Allan, a guy that was supposed to be a big piece for this New York Mets team, it just doesn't look like he's going to be a big piece for this team at all. It really sucks. It really sucks because, the Mets agreed, to a $2.5 million signing bonus with him, in 2019. And we thought that Matt Allan was going to be the next big thing. We thought he was going to be the next big pitcher, and it just didn't work out. And this really sucks for the New York Mets because of their pitching. Their pitching prospects that they don't have. They do not have a lot of pitching prospects. The Mets do not have a lot of. We saw last year, Thomas Sapucki, guys like Jose Butto, Budo, those guys. Jose Budo had one start, and we saw what happened. He didn't do so great, but he got a little bit better in that game against the Nationals. But they destroyed him, So, listen, at the end of the day, you want Mets pitching to be strong. And, the New York Mets just can't depend on free agency, to always depend on free agency because there's not always going to be free agent pitchers out there, And I know that Steve Cohen has money, and I understand that. But the Mets have to do a better job of drafting for pitchers. They have to do a better job. And in this past draft in 2022, they did not really draft a lot of pitchers. And I was definitely concerned and confused why the Mets did not sign, pitchers and they ended up going for shortstops and catchers, and yes, it's good to have a shortstop like Jet Williams. It's good to have a catcher like Kevin Parada, who is a top, catcher, definitely a top prospect in the MLB pipeline. And I understand that. But the Mets pitching is so thin that why wouldn't you go for pitching? It just doesn't make sense to me. And a kid like Matt Allan having 3 surgeries, it just really doesn't look good for his future. I don't know. I really don't know where Matt Allan goes from here. because he's out for 2023 and he could be out as well for 2024. Not the whole 2024, but definitely could miss time in 2024. This just doesn't look good. And, Matt Allan, has said in the past that, yes, all he wants to do is be healthy, and he just wanted to be healthy. But it just didn't end up going that way, So, yes, we know that MLB, baseball, guys get injured, and that's a part of the game. You can't really do nothing about that. But it just sucks for the New York Mets because the fact that the Mets pitching pool is so thin in prospects, it just doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. They have a guy named Blade Tidwell, who had a strong 2022. He in the draft, he did a great job, but he looks to be, a good pitcher, but not a number one starter, number two starter. Dominic Hamill is another starter, but he doesn't look like a number two starter, number three starter, so the Mets don't have guys that can be possibly, a number 8, number one starter or number two starter. And that is a concern. That definitely is a concern. I just don't like the fact that the Mets, really didn't do justice in drafting guys in 2022 that could possibly help this team, pitching wise. I really don't. And, I hope, I look at other teams like the Braves, like the Miami Marlins, like, other teams, and they have pitching. Miami has a whole bunch of pitching. And, it really does suck that the Mets don't have a lot of, prospects, pitchers, but man, they got to do something. I don't know if it's a big trade. I don't know what they got to do exactly, but they got to draft better. Definitely in 2023, if I'm the Mets, I'm focusing on pitching because it just doesn't make sense that, you're depending on guys like Matt Allan, who's definitely injury prone, having another surgery. It just sucks for the kid, honestly. It just sucks for the kid. It sucks for the New York Mets. And I hope that the New York Mets kind of learn from this because, Steve Cohen, Billy Epler, these guys are the guys in charge. They are in charge. And, yes, I would like for, somebody in the New York Mets that has that baseball experience. Billy Epler has baseball experience, but, I want somebody that could be the president of, the operations. Somebody like Dave Dombrowski, somebody that can take charge of the New York Mets team and, make it better. Definitely pitching wise, because prospect wise, they have a lot of prospects. Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, Mark Vientos, they Alexi Ramirez, Francisco Alvarez. They have a lot of prospects still in their system. So that's good and all, but the Mets need pitching. At the end of the day, the Mets need pitching. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Mets need pitching? Because I definitely do. I think that the Mets need to focus, not on just free agency, but on drafting guys that are pitchers. So we will see what happens. They drafted a few guys in 2022 that were pitchers, but they do not look to pan out as, a number two starter, a number one starter. And if the Mets, could have went for an ace in 2022 in the draft, I would have loved for the Mets to go for pitching. They went for Kevin Parada. They went for Jet Williams. It is what it is. At the end of the day, yes, Kevin Parada is a top MLB pipeline prospect. And, Jet Williams looks good as well. But, man, I just really think that the Mets need to focus on pitching. I really do. And, we know what happened in 2015. The Mets made it to the World Series with Matt Harvey, Syndergaard, Zach Wheeler, Jacob deGrom. And where did those guys come from? They came from prospects. Yes, they did trade for Syndergaard, but Syndergaard was a prospect in Toronto. So, listen, if the Mets want to be successful in the future and not just now, they got to focus on pitching. And at the end of the day, that's my take on it. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so much. This is All Things Mets Media. I love you guys. I love the Mets. I love everything. I love Gene for life. Stay blessed. Have an amazing day. And yeah, man, let's go Mets.